This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Great time of year. It's, in fact, this time of year where we all realise that we can all take on the Pyrenees on a push bike, Natalie, and we all go, hey, that's pretty easy stuff when you're watching the Tour de France.
Oh, why are they going so slow?
Exactly. Hey, pick up your cadence, I say. If you're watching SBS and SBS On Demand exclusively from Saturday the 5th of July, you'll be able to see the Tour de France and Tour de France Femme live and free.
Yes.
Simon Gerrans, one of Australia's greatest ever cyclists, he'll be calling all the action. In fact, he'll be making his way over very shortly to Paris. Simon joins us now. G'day, Simon.
Morning.
Good morning, guys.
Dream gig, Simon. Dream
Oh,
gig,
it is.
right?
It's not bad. It's not a bad way to spend the month of July following the Tour de France around, that's for sure.
Yeah, and better than actually riding in it.
Yeah, it's a lot more comfortable than riding it. We are sitting very still in the commentary booth, but we watch every minute of the race. And, yeah, heart rate not quite as high as what it used to be during the Tour de France.
I can
that's for sure.
imagine.
Simon, you did win a couple of stages. Am I able to ask what you get for winning a stage of the Tour de France?
New shirt.
Bit of pride?
You get a new shirt. Yeah, you get a new shirt if you're leading the race. So, yeah, obviously...
You wore yellow
jersey
at one
for the
stage,
race
yep.
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a couple of days in yellow at one point. But, yeah, you basically... It's the accolades that go with winning a stage of the Tour
And
de
a bunch
France.
of
You get a
flowers.
nice trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a kiss on the cheek on the podium.
Can't pay rent with a
but
kiss
there's
on the
a lot-
cheek.
Oh, mate,
What
they're not
goes
bad,
into
though.
it.
We've all seen those.
Yeah, the young ladies in
They're
question
hot as
are
chips.
quite
They're hot as
impressive.
They
chips,
still
mate.
kiss on the cheek these days? They wouldn't.
In France, it's on the lips.
yeah.
They're very personable. Hey, Simon, and Ross makes a really good point. Being able to win two Tour de France stages, as you did during your career, it's a massive moment in cycling. That must have been a dream come true for you.
It certainly was. I won a stage quite early on in my career, back in 2008 when I was racing with a French team, and then again in 2013 when I was racing with the Australian team, Oroki Green Edge.
Yep.
And it was, by far some of the most special moments in my racing career. I participated in the Tour de France on 12 occasions. So to win two stages over that journey and to have worn the yellow jersey, it's definitely a standout moment in my career.
Hey, was one a time trial?
Yeah, so not an individual time trial. I won a
It was
couple
a
of
team
teams
tri-
time
yep.
trials. Yeah, teams time trials, and then a couple of individual stages. But the teams time trial is actually a really special one to win because you get to stand on the podium with all your teammates.
Yeah.
Versus an individual stage win, the team wins a real standout.
Can we talk about how hard it is, Simon? Because, I mean, it's brutal and it's 3 weeks. There's a couple of rest days in there, but, like, what does it do to your body? Like, on those days when you've got to literally climb a mountain and you can't just go as slow as you like, can you? There is a minimum, like a time that you have to finish by, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. So you have to finish within a certain percentage of the winner's time each and every day. So in the big mountain stages, when you have these fantastic climbers like Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogacar blast off in the mountains, the sprinters, the guys that don't go up the hills so well, they've still got a tough task ahead of them just to complete the stage within the time limit. So they're big, big days on the Tour de France. As you mentioned, it's 3 weeks of racing, so 21 days. You cover about 3,500 kilometres over that period of time, and it's relentless. It's day in, day out.
Unbelievable.
amazing.
I mean, imagine the chafe. Is that what everybody's thinking about? I know you're wearing the proper gear, but geez, those thighs are rubbing at some stage.
Yeah, there's not a lot of body fat left on these guys. There's not a lot of fat left to chase. They're pretty lean and fit and ready to go.
And, I mean, we've seen that what annoys me the most about the Tour de France is the crowd and the way they get in, especially on those mountain stages. If it's not hard enough to climb a mountain on a bike, then there's people in your face because they want to be on TV and you're not allowed to punch them. Is that as frustrating for you as it is for us watching?
It can be, but it also can be very entertaining. It's funny, when you're in the front of the race and you're focused on getting the win or doing a job for your teammate, it's just white noise. You drown the crowd out. You don't even notice them. When you're down the back and you're going at snail's pace just to get the stage out the way, you see and you hear everything. And the question I often get asked, do you get heckled on the bike? Is there heckling amongst the riders? There's no heckling amongst the riders as such, but there's definitely heckling from the roadside.
Yeah.
If you're down the back and you may be struggling, it's, who ate all the pies or when are you going to finish, that sort of
There's
thing.
the guy eating a pie,
Yeah, exactly. But it's very entertaining from the roadside.
Oh, yeah. It looks amazing. The coverage on SBS has always been outstanding,
Next level.
and we've loved it. For you getting involved in cycling, is it right that you're a neighbour to Phil Anderson?
That's correct. Yeah, so
Mate, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, for me to get started in the sport, a friend of the family happened to be, at that point in time, Australia's greatest ever cyclist. He still is. And he introduced me to the sport of cycling. So he was my first coach when I started as a teenager, and he sort of guided me for the first years of my career, so I was very lucky.
That is amazing,
It's
isn't it?
outstanding.
Now, the course this year, it's all in France, which it hasn't been for a few
No.
years. Is that right? So normally they might start in Spain or Switzerland or something, or Ireland or somewhere random. But this time it's all in France.
Yeah, that's right. So they kick off in Lille on Saturday this weekend, and the whole 3,500 odd kilometres is all in France this year, which is unusual for the Tour de France. As you mentioned, they often venture off into the bordering countries, whether it's a stage or two in Italy or Germany or Belgium, for example. But yeah, this year, starting right up north in Lille, so right up on the border, and it does the loop around France counterclockwise, and finishing back in Paris in 3 weeks' time.
Simon, given all your travels over your professional cycling career, did you live in one place like Monaco to be able to do the European summer and all that kind of stuff? And secondly, do you speak multiple languages?
So I based myself in Europe for about 20 years when I was competing.
Where'd you
And
live?
For the majority of my professional career, I was based in Monaco. That's
Okay,
right.
tax haven?
Yeah. No, for the weather. I don't know what you're
yes, of
talking
course
about.
it is.
Yeah. No,
Wink.
Yeah. No, so I was based in Monaco down and south of France area for the majority of my racing career. So I was living in Europe for that period of time. As an Australian professional cyclist, you do need to base yourself in Europe to follow the racing calendar. At the end of the season, sort of come October sort of period, we duck off back to Australia to spend a couple of months and chase the sunshine, that's for sure.
Do you speak another language? Do you speak French then? Well?
Speak some French. Yeah, I speak some French. I raced for a couple of years with French amateur teams before turning professional and racing with French teams for a couple of years. And based in that area as well, as French is the native language, so you soon learn to pick it up.
Ça va?
Ça va.
Très bien.
Très bien, merci. And a quick tip, is it going to be Vingegaard again, or do you think Tadej Pogacar, who's been unbelievable in the last 5 years, is incredible? One of those, will it come from one of those, or is there a bolter out of the blue?
Oh, there's three standout favourites really for the Tour de France, and the top of that list is Tadej Pogacar.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's having a phenomenal. He's one of the best the sport has ever seen.
Yeah.
So watching him race is fantastic. Obviously, his big rival is Jonas Vingegaard, the Danish rider racing on the Dutch team. He's won a couple of tours as well, so he's going to be right up there. And the Belgian, Remco Evenepoel, he's going to be he was on the podium last year, he finished in third place. So between those three guys, they're the three standouts, but it should be a great battle between them.
Yeah,
Safe trip over there, Simon. Look forward to your commentary. SBS, as I said, SBS on demand as well. Everybody loves the Tour de France.
Yes, because even if you're not into cycling, visually it's spectacular.
Yeah, it is.
I've used it to organise to plan a holiday in France before, because you just get to see some beautiful
let's go
places.
there. Let's go there.
Yeah,
That looks
exactly.
nice.
It's gorgeous. Thanks so much for talking to us, Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
No worries, guys. Thanks very much.
See you, mate.
Merci beaucoup.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
To this great man. Oh, Joel, has it got you up and about?
Oh, really? It really has. It's just like a warm cup of honey.
Isn't it?
So, you know-
well,
Joel,
right.
this is still a sports segment, just in case you're wondering.
Okay, well, do you know what? It's not really my area, so I just assumed this was some famous badminton player or something.
Well, that would make sense, actually. That music goes, what is he actually singing, Nat? Say goodbye or something?
Time to say goodbye.
Okay, so
Nat always does this when at karaoke after a few dry white wines.
But better, obviously.
But better.
Now, the reason why we're playing this is at the SCG, they're talking about the possibility of switching the game from the Fremantle-Sydney game on Sunday, because the ground on Friday night when Sydney were playing was against the Western Bulldogs was so bad because of the crowd at the Andre Pacelli concert.
Which was
April the
in
5th.
April.
What were they doing at that concert?
Well, it's moshes, right? They get into
Mad
it.
Moshes, of course.
Oh,
Like, it wasn't
'cause they'd be-
Glastonbury. What the hell was going on there?
Yeah,
and
'cause
why
they
has it
regrow the
taken so
grass.
long?
I don't
Let's
know.
get really
Because-
lit at Andre.
Yeah,
Andre.
that's true. But as Joel's pointed out, today is June 31st. That's a long time. It's a long time since April 5.
24 hours.
It'll never not be funny. We'll wait and hear from the AFL whether that game gets moved. But I think from a Fremantle perspective anyway, hopefully in the media they don't talk too much about it, because it becomes a distraction.
I know. But can we
Subconsciously.
just point out that Optus Stadium hosted 4 matches in a week?
They did.
In less than a week, actually, and it was fine. What are they doing at the SCG?
Well, I do know at Optus Stadium, when I've been there after dark, they have this amazing hydroponic setup where they roll out on the tyres
Yes.
and the big lights.
Yes. Yeah.
over the grass, and then obviously they've got their own setup in the roof,
yeah.
obviously, at Optus Stadium to pay for all the
Hydroponic,
electricity.
I relate to something else.
Yeah.
So,
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't-
Yeah, a bit.
What are you talking about?
Dahlias. Yeah.
Moving on to the Richmond Tigers, and Tom Lynch will front the tribunal tonight, and he's looking at the biggest ban of the AFL season. He threw a haymaker
Oh,
at
he absolutely did.
Adelaide player.
There's no way he's getting off, right? So
No,
it's
he's
just
going to
a
get a
matter of
minimum
how
of 5
long.
weeks.
Yeah, right.
But he actually didn't hit him that hard.
But his intent was 100% there.
Yeah.
What's a not hard hit? What's a not hard hit?
Oh,
Sean?
Well, the guy
'Cause I think
wasn't
ours would
KO.
differ.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, no KO. Okay, you're putting it in my language.
You know
He
when
wasn't-
Jack just gives you a little nod on the head?
It's just the
yeah,
tab.
yeah,
It's a tab.
Go to sleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, stop talking in your sleep.
Moving over to the cricket right now, and Steve Smith's going to play in the second test when Australia plays West Indies. It begins on Friday, and the reason why he didn't play in the first test is because the World Test Championships, which were played in England just recently, he got a very bad injury. Now, let's have a listen to Steve talking about his injury.
I looked straight down and I was like, one, that just doesn't look right, pretty disgusting. Wasn't kind of sure of the extent of the damage. Fortunately, there was no fracture and it was just a compound dislocation. So Doc actually said that he wanted to put my finger back in as we were running off. That I didn't have much interest in. I was feeling pretty sick at that stage.
A compound fracture of the finger.
No, dislocation.
Oh, dislocation.
So what that means is it dislocated but then broke the skin. And the doctor thought he'd put it back in while he was running off the ground.
How do you
Oh
feel
my
about
God.
that?
No, that's a hard pass.
Joel, have
Really?
you
You're the
dislocated
expert.
anything?
Have I dislocated anything apart from my my ego and my dignity when I've been overseas? No. Have I? Oh, I broke 5 ribs last year. Does that
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, we can't
Yeah.
that as a
Not a dislocation.
Not a dislocation.
I haven't
No.
dislocated anything. You would if your fingers and
a
things.
finger, and just on the ground, the doc
Yes.
comes up and they just pop it
Yes,
back
but
in.
it wasn't. The bone wasn't sticking out through the skin.
No, but you think you know how to do these things, and anyway, one
Yeah.
day my
Oh, I do
older
know
son,
how to do it. I've done it.
my older son
You
was playing on the
actually
trampoline, and I double bounced him,
Yes.
and he landed, and he comes up, and his end of his what part of the finger's that, Nat?
Oh, that's your
Tip.
distal
Just the tip.
Distal what?
phalange.
Phalange.
Or
The distal
tip.
phalange, Joel, was dislocated. It was completely out, and he just looked at it before he had a chance to start crying. I banged
You
it
just
back
ripped it
in.
back in.
Oh,
It's
good
actually a
work.
really good
Yes.
tip because often when you look at it, it's like the other knuckles, like it goes really white when because there's a bit of the blood supply is getting, don't try this at home, but why
not? Why not?
The
doing it now.
relief you get when you do it and immediately see the blood flow back into it, you feel like you've really
that
achieved something.
is so sexy. Also, by the way, I don't know if this is the takeaway from the story, but
Yes.
congratulations on the double bounce, Sean. They're really hard to do.
Oh, they are, aren't they? You got to get him at the right spot.
That is
Yeah.
absolutely the takeaway from that story.
Right?
Well
Don't you
done.
think? I'm like, yes, a double bounce, get it.
Yeah,
How
hey,
old
Joel.
was he at the time?
He was 7, but
Suck it.
I
In your
learned that
face.
and my grandma Max, she had a trampoline. Of course, he was 35 grandchildren, so it was just pylons all day long, and there's no netting.
No.
So once you
Of
double
course.
bounce someone, you went over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're eliminated. It's time to go.
Yeah, that's right.
The Royal
That's
Rumble.
right.
Rove loved the Royal Rumble. And finally, I'm finishing off with a bit of Wimbledon, which started overnight. Joel, you love your tennis?
I love my tennis. How's my has Sabalenka played yet? She's my fave.
I didn't check her results overnight. I don't think she's graced
No.
the court just
No,
yet.
I think she plays tonight. Our time.
But I will say only Jordan Thompson out of a number of Aussies that competed
Yeah.
overnight was the one to get through. But this is the one thing that I love about tennis and probably golf as well.
Yeah.
So if you win Wimbledon this year, you walk away with £3 million, both
Yeah, okay.
men and women.
Basically $6 million, yes.
Oh.
So if you come second runner-up is £1.5 million. Then
Yeah, not bad.
So,
Yep,
so it
that's all
obviously goes down, as you know. But here's the thing, right? You get through the qualifications in Wimbledon, and you're just round one. You're a round one loser, which is pretty ordinary stuff, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So you have how much?
£66,000. Round
Oh
one
my
loser.
gosh, we did not get that at the Applecross Tennis Club when I was playing tennis under 12s.
Not at Applecross?
What did you get?
Well,
Yeah.
no, we got
It
way
was just-
more in Applecross.
It's just dollars, not pounds. Okay?
Hey,
Yes.
grass.
Yeah.
You're a grass quarter then, Joel. You'd have been
I'm a
great in the
grass
Australian
quarter.
Open. Australian conditions. Or
I know.
Wimbledon.
Well, I was. What's the tournament now called? Because I was a ball boy at the Hotman Cup.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
it's the
Well, now
United
it's
Cup
the United
now.
Cup.
Yeah.
United Cup. I was great. I used to wear the Legionnaires cap and everything,
Yes.
which is the ugliest cap in the world. I'd rather get Legionnaires than actually have to wear one of those hats.
Especially as they were playing inside.
I know, it made no. Yeah, but we were the Sun Smart Hopman Cup ball kids. You know, I was
you
all
had
over
to.
it. I was always on drinks duty, though. I was never on getting the balls. I was always like,
just pouring
can I
the
make you a
drinks.
cocktail, Serena? Like, what do you need?
Gatorade again. No worries.
Boring.
There you
Great
go.
work. Excellent sports segment, Shaun. You covered it all. You got everything away. Look at it all. That was a lot of sport.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.